There are several main strategies to lower your home and auto insurance. Let's dive in and go over some of those that you can apply that will get you current discounts on your current policy, or for those of you that are shopping that can get insurance discounts on the new policy that you're going with. The first one is you've got to debate, how far do I drive and how often do I drive? There are new pay per mile programs that will give you a better price if you're not driving a lot. So for those of you that are driving less miles than, let's say, 6,000 or 7,000 miles a year, you may want to do a pay per mile program. Companies like Nationwide offer what's called a Smart Miles program, and there are other ones that do that, but it's like a lower base, and then you pay on the mileage. So every month your payment is different. That's the unfortunate part, but it's based on the mileage that you drive. The second is what everybody over the internet tells you, which is to shop around. And yes, that is probably the best way to get the price lower, because most of the time when your price goes up, it's because you're no longer a fit, or the guidelines or the product pricing is coming up to par with what the company thinks your risk is. And between all of your history and the cars you have and the home you have and the number of drivers and the number of claims you've had and your credit and all of these 20 different things that they pile into what I call a profile, those are different matches for different companies. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people say shop around. When that changes, I would say more than 20%, then you are going to likely not be a fit for the company you're with. Keep in mind, a lot of your larger premium companies, they are going to have those 20% changes because they want to keep the benefits. In those cases, if the coverage is worth more than the cost, then it's not worth it. Other cases where you are not a fit, where you have seen a 30% or a $50 a month or $20 a month increase in premium, it might make sense to talk to an agent that can work with you with different companies. That's where you lead into the type of agent you talk to, and we have another video on this channel that goes further in depth than that. But essentially there's two types of agents. There's independent and then there's exclusive. Exclusives are your State Farm, your Farmers. Some of your Allstates, they've actually lost a little bit of the exclusivity in most states. And those guys only do their product. If they can't sell you theirs, then they're allowed to sell like a Progressive policy. Can be beneficial, but with all the rates going up over and over lately, and with State Farm losing over $6 billion in a net loss, there's not a lot of wiggle room for them to be competitive. Where you have your independent agent where they work with 5, 6, 10, 15 different companies where they shop you across the nationwide. They can shop you across Allstate in most cases. They can check AAA, they can check Progressive, they can check Bristol West, which is a farmer's company, and they've got all these options for you. Now that doesn't mean they're always going to be the best scenario, but I would say 8 out of 10 times they're the one I would go to. By the way, if you are looking for new home and auto insurance, I'll put a link in the description below where you can talk to one of the independent agents. They can shop the multiple companies for you. It's one phone call, usually pretty simple. The third strategy is to understand what risk you are. So risk in car insurance is mileage. The more you drive, the more risk you are. The location you can't really change if you already live somewhere. If you're moving, now take that into consideration, have your agent check the new location, because I've seen rates double from one location to the next. I actually had a family member that renewed their policy, nothing visibly changed. Their credit was good, it was the max, they had really good insurance on their home, they had their auto, their multi-policy, they got all these discounts, they've been with the company for 2-3 years, and their rate went up 120%. It doubled and added 20% on top of it. I obviously called the company and went through this whole scenario and tried to figure out what was going on. And the biggest thing that we can lean towards is two things. One, the product model changed. So the pricing, if they completely change everything, then everything goes haywire, and some good clients are no longer good clients. And two, the territory changed. Now, this family member is actually out near the country, and so that means that they're probably a higher risk, or what we call a protection class, that is probably raised due to the response of like fire departments. In this scenario, their auto went way up 40+%, their home went up 120%, and naturally they wanted us to start looking at different options. Another strategy is if you're about to buy a new car or purchase a new vehicle, think really hard on what type of car you want. And I don't mean that as far as like you got to start looking and researching them all as far as insurance goes, but your agent usually can plug in the vehicle identification number and it'll tell you exactly what it would cost to insure it. Yesterday, had a client call up and he's thinking about purchasing a new Chevy Equinox. In that case, it actually was $200 cheaper for the newer version of the Equinox versus the 3-year-old one. That's great. That means he could purchase the car and be happy. He'll save an extra $10, $20 a month and everybody wins. In some cases, I've had it double the price to where maybe a younger driver is on a policy and all of a sudden this Camaro showing up is not really a good idea and the price can go up hundreds of dollars. And I know you all were waiting for this because everything and everybody, or if you've talked to agents and you've talked to them, they've pitched you on this and they've asked you about this because it almost feels like it's a sales pitch, is to bundle your home and your renters, your home and your auto, your home and your something. Bundling anything helps. The biggest discount you can get in insurance is home and auto, renters and auto. Those usually carry the same discount. So having that can save you probably hundreds of dollars on your policy. Lately, because the rates have been going crazy on either the home or the auto with companies, we've been breaking them up a lot more. So this discount has slowly started to change, but I believe that in 2024, 2025, and 2026, over the next 3 years, we're gonna see that discount play a larger impact as companies start to fix their pricing models. Yes, rates are starting to climb and rise, we understand that, but as that happens, that means there's more emphasis as these companies become more profitable. Those additional bundling discounts are going to make a benefit to them. And to them, having more products under their belt isn't about just getting more money. It is, but the longevity of the customer is better for them. So if they can sell you home, auto, life insurance, a motorcycle policy, all of those things into one, and keep them all under one roof, which is actually good for the customer, but then that means you're going to probably stay 1 to 3 years longer than if you just did your auto with them or your home with them. Because eventually your current agent that has the other line is going to try to pitch you and get you a better deal because they know that it's a big discount. So what have you found that has helped the most? Have you been shopping around for car insurance or home insurance? And what are the things that you've noticed have made a big impact? Yeah, we understand that underwriting laws and guidelines can impact it negatively. And even those telematics systems are super powerful. Those are just add-on tools that can get you more discounts. But as far as the strategy for getting the best company, best fit, best pricing, what have you guys found on your insurance journey? For those of you that want to know more discounts, I actually have a discount video that I will link over here. Otherwise, this video will be helpful as well. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.